Hello friends and welcome back to Hearthstone. We're going to jump straight into the second game where I'm facing off against another mage. And my opening hand is not the best. I was really hoping for something, other than buffs. I mean, I got Outdoor Peacekeeper, which is not so bad, but getting equality that early on wasn't the best. For some reason I decided to keep it. And then I get another buff, which is rubbish. Obviously I have no turn 1 play, so I'll pass. And looking at what the mage does, he decides to coin straight into a Novice Engineer. Now where was mine when I wanted it? I don't even know. I'll pull a Knife Juggler, and I could have played it, but I prefer to play him when I've got something to back him up with, because he's quite an easy target. And if you play a Knife Juggler quite early, people tend to just kill it straight away, which sucks. So I normally try and get some kind of backup with it. He just fire blasts my little dude and then smacks me for 1. And again, I pull another buff. I've got literally nothing that I can do right now. I could play Outdoor Peacekeeper, but it's a waste. I could play Knife Juggler, but as I say, I've got no backup, so I just opt for my hero power. So I've really got nothing to do at the minute, which is really unfortunate. Not getting any of the cards I'm kind of after, none of my taunt or anything. He pulls out an Arcane Missiles, which is really lucky. Takes out my hero power guy. Pulls another Novice Engineer. So he's already got board advantage, and he's probably got a better hand than me as well, which is really not looking good. Then I pull Tyrion, and it's like, for God's sake, Tyrion, this is not your time. We don't need you. So I decide to pull out my Knife Juggler and summon my little hero power guy. Unfortunately, he didn't hit one of the engineers, which was what I was hoping to do. So he's just sitting there like an idiot now. And the mage is having a good think. Can't remember what he does at this point. I guess we'll find out.
What to do?
But yes, it's not looking good for me at all. Pulls out a Gnomish Inventor. Pulls even more card draw. Now he's probably got a definite advantage over me. Decides to suicide both of his engineers into my Knife Juggler to take that out. And then I pull my own Novice Engineer. So where was that like a couple of turns ago? I have no idea. It finally decides to show his face. Really struggling to find what to play at this point. I have literally nothing that's a good combination. Nothing in general that would give me any, that I can see that would give me any kind of advantage. Possibly I could Blessing of Kings, but again, he's a mage, he's probably got polymorph, he's got some way to deal with it. So I was thinking about it, as you can see. Decided in the end to pull my Novice Engineer in hopes that I would get a good card out of it. I got another Blessing of Might, so that didn't help at all. And decided to just smack him for 1 because I can literally do nothing. Although, to be fair, looking back at it, I could have buffed him with Blessing of Might and then taken out the Engineer, which would have made my life a hell of a lot easier in the long run, as you'll see. But, at the time, I decided to just smack him for like 1, which was rather silly. Pulls out another Arcane Missiles, and again, he gets so lucky with this. Takes out 2 of my 3 guys and hits me. And then he fire blasts my last remaining guy, clears my side of the board, and then he's free to hit me for 2. And he pulls out a taunt as well. So really, it's not looking good for me at all at the moment. I do pull out a Repentance. Turn 6, and I still have practically nothing that I can do. I think I'm forced to play the Outdoor Peacekeeper. Really didn't want to do that, but I have literally nothing, as you can see. I was thinking about what else I could do, but I have no taunt, I have no consecrate, not really anything, which is unfortunate. So, working it out in my head, I thought, as you can see, look, the best option. I didn't want to play it, but I had no choice. So here goes the Outdoor Peacekeeper on the Novice. It made no difference. They both, did 2 damage. So again, it wouldn't make any difference which one I did. Played Repentance and then the hero power. Really nothing I could have done. It's looking very grim for me, this game, unfortunately. But as I say, I mean, it might have been a bit easier if I'd have took out the Gnomish Inventor earlier on when I could. But obviously I didn't think of that at the time. So, Mr. Mage decides to pull out a Stormpike Commando. The secret procs on Repentance takes it down to 1 health. But, you know, he's still hiding behind a taunt, which I can't deal with. Clears my end of the board again. I have nothing. I do draw a Consecrate, which at the moment I have literally no choice but to use, just to clear the board. And then I decide to use my hero power. Because, you know, it's really not looking very good for me at the minute. So, Mr. Mage pulls out a Nightblade. And just, you know, Fire Blasts my hero again, like I was going to expect anyway. He's really not letting me get anything out there. Now, this was a bit of a stupid move, and I don't know why, but there were probably better ways of dealing with this. But for some reason, you'll see in a minute, and you'll probably start yelling at me and going, why did you do that? For some reason, I decided to play Quality on 1 card and Avenging Wrath. I mean, great, I cleared the board and did damage on him, but, I mean, come on. I think there were better plays I could have made then. Even, you know, with my absolutely abysmal hand. I was really reluctant to play Tyrion because he's a mage, he has polymorph. But, you know, looking at next turn plays, really, I think that's my only choice. He pulls out a Mana Worm. And he's still got 7 mana left. Decide to pull out another taunt. This is where stuff gets absolutely crazy. Look, he's got 2 more taunts on the board. Bearing in mind, I think I've already killed like 1 or 2 taunts of his already. Another buff, which is going to do absolutely nothing to help me. And as you can see, the only minion in my hand I could play is Tyrion. I have literally nothing else I can do. I mean, Reinforce wouldn't help. I could buff it, but it would probably instantly die.
Let me think.
And I'm sitting there thinking, this is ridiculous. I think at this point I was getting a bit mad and frustrated that I like had nothing I could do against this guy. And I thought, sod it, played Tyrion, fully expecting a polymorph to come in. But I have literally no choice whatsoever because I have nothing. So of course, he's probably rubbing his hands going, yes, polymorph it. Ha ha ha, no Ashbringer for you. And he's having to think about it. And I'm getting annoyed. You can see me like flailing about on the screen. He pings my shield off. And here comes a polymorph, as expected. And then Fire Blast it. Because he's not going to let me get away with anything. Well, he will. He pulls out a Mana Worm, but he'll Fire Blast it. Here we go. And at this point, I was probably screaming and raging at my computer. Having a fit because like I couldn't do anything. This is dire. And yeah, I pull out an Argent Protector. Nothing. Literally cannot do a thing. And yeah, so this isn't great. I was debating on buffing it, but again, I decided to just sod it and waste all my cards because I wasn't going to win anyway. So I just decided to like buff him. At least if he's going to try and clear it and he doesn't have a polymorph, he might lose something, but it's not looking good at all. So he comes in with a mirror image, and he's got another Mana Worm, and as you can see, he's now got 4 taunt on the board and a Frost Nova, so I can't even attack with my 6/6 or do anything about it. I have no Consecrate, have no Quality. Here comes another taunt. He's got 5 taunt on the board, and I can't do anything. This is dire. This is like absolutely horrendous. To be fair, even if I did think about buffing my guy at the beginning to kill his no machine venter, it wouldn't have made any difference at all. Really. Like, he could completely afford to get rid of that taunt, because, I mean, for God's sake, look at the state of his board. Just mother of taunts. So I bring out my own taunt, and I think, yes, I can protect myself for a bit. Yeah. That ain't gonna do much. I was debating on using a Blessing of Wisdom on one of his, but I knew at this point it was completely lost, and there was no way I was gonna win, so I just sort of gave up, really. Waited to see what he did. But look at the state of that board, it's ridiculous. It's probably partly my fault for letting it get that bad, but at the same time, that guy's deck is insane. The Flame Strike just completely wiping my side of the board again. And I can't do anything about it. And I'm going to take all that juicy damage to my face. Oh my god. 4 damage. At this point, I pulled an Argent Protector again. I was like, nah. This is not going to happen. I have lost. Randomly just pulled out a bunch of cards for no reason and then conceded. Because that was horrendous. So yeah. Terrible. Thankfully, you can't lose stars when you're in Word rank, but as you can see now, we're even on the win-loss ratio as we move into game 3. Hopefully things will go better. Up against a warrior, which is quite interesting because I don't face many warriors. Get the Argent Commander in the first hand and I'm just like, no. No, thank you. The other two are okay. It's nice that I got a Novice Engineer and I got Ascension Shield Master, which is quite good. So I'm actually seeing some of my taunt now. It's definitely a lot better hand than I had in the previous game. Pull my True Silver Champion, which it's like the first time I've seen that in ages. I forgot I even had it. It's like a rare occurrence. And he coins instantly into a Heroic Strike and decides for some reason to smack me in the face. And I was a bit rude and didn't say hello, but you know. I think I was still seething after the last game. Oh, play a Novice Engineer and get an Argent Protector. See, now I'm getting all the helpful good cards. In the last game I was getting all the horrendously horrible useless cards. And it's just like, why? Why you do this? So, he pulls out a Fiery War Axe and smacks me in the face, which is fine. I can take that. I think he's looking to rush me down, and I'm not really going to have any of that. So I'm going to go Argent Protector just because, you know, I don't really have any of the minions at the moment. Just smack him for 1. It was a bit pointless using a shield on it, but you know, I just wanted minions on the board at that point. Turn 4 I can play my Shield Master if I wanted to. Depending on what he played, I could play my Outdoor Peacekeeper if he plays something that needs dealing with. But we'll see. Plays an Argent Squire. And I think he's thinking about what to attack. He might be going straight for... Yeah, he's going straight for me. But he was thinking about taking the shield off my engineer. I do pull a Knife Juggler, but I do go straight for the taunt. And then go straight for him because, you know, I don't really care much about his Squire guy. He's not really... I don't feel threatened by it at all. And obviously he's lost his weapon now. So he's got to deal with that taunt before he can do anything. And he pulls out a Wolf Rider and an Abusive Sergeant, which he buffs to take out my taunt, which is fair play. And then again, just goes straight for me. So I think he's just trying to rush me down at this point. Let's see. I have a Knife Juggler, and then I use my Hero Power just to get that proc off. He does kill the Sergeant, which is very nice. At this point, I do trade the shields and then take out his Squire and clear the board. As you can see, he's having a look at my Knife Juggler, see how to deal with it. And he pulls out Warsong Commander. And a Kobold Geomancer, which he trades for the Knife Juggler. And I get a Blessing of Kings. At this point, I think... What do I do? I think I might have played the Argent Commander. Yeah, there we go. Like, I've got a complete board and card control right now. Definitely a huge turnaround from the previous game. I was thinking about clearing out the his minion on the board, but decided against it in the end. Feeling quite confident, especially compared to the last game, which was terrible. And he brings out a weaponsmith. He gets another weapon. Armouring up. And again, just rushing me down, trying to get me down before I can get him down. I'm down to 12. He's on 22 if you include the armour. I do pull out another taunt, which I think I end up playing. Or do I? I'm thinking about it, definitely. I'm wondering which ones of his to take out as well. Because at this point, I think I might have to start clearing the board. The taunt does come out, and here we go, yeah. I start clearing the board. I do sacrifice 3 of my minions to take out that one, but that's fine. He's still got to get through a taunt. And the Argent Protector was going to die anyway. So I've got hand and board advantage at the moment. He's still trying to rush me down. Obviously it's not looking great for him. The armor's up again. And he's trying to get through the taunt, which he does with an execute. And here comes Tyrion. Tyrion finally gets to do something useful. My god. But yes, it's definitely a lot more comfortable this game than the last one. I was getting everything that I needed. And he just couldn't do anything about it. At this point, I decide to buff Mr. Tyrion. And quite a comfortable victory. Smack him for 20. Look at that, 20-10. And there we go. I take game 3. So we're now 2 wins to 1 loss, and we move into rank 24. But yeah, there we go. I will see you next week for game 4. Till then, bye!